Guys, Madden 24. Now, you can kind of call this a rant, I guess, but I'm just telling you why this game is not fun for franchise mode. Another reason. Once again, I've said this a million times, but the quick play is a lot of fun. The franchise mode is just it's just garbage. I can't enjoy it at all. It's not even possible to enjoy. Why? Because it's so predictable. As you can see, we're up 13-10. They keep the game close in franchise mode. But once you get that lead, because we kicked the field goal to end the half and we took a lead. So when they got the ball back, we came into an unstoppable team. Now I'm gonna show you what happens when when I take a lead in this game in my franchise mode. When I take a lead in this game, I see a very, very strong offensive line, and we can't even come close to that quarterback. If we have a slim lead, we won't even come within a foot of that quarterback. Okay, and that's gonna open up the doors for these guys to break through coverages and get open. And I think he was not in man coverage. I think he was in a zone, possibly. But and this is what I see. They've pretty much been driving on us. They got the ball at half, and this is what I'm seeing. We can't even come close to that quarterback. Like we haven't gotten close to him once in this drive. This is the offensive line I see when we have a slim lead. I can play the game and look at it and say, yeah, they're gonna drive down the field and score in this one. And I'm right just about every single time. I never fail. How do I know that? Because it's based on the scoreboard. I cannot tell which players are clutch in this because every team I've played against is clutch. Every team I've played against is clutch. I don't care if it's the Denver Broncos, the Falcons. Of course, you got the Bills and Eagles who are actually good teams, but every team comes through in the clutch that we play against. And this is what I see. I see this offensive line that you can't even, it's like we have no chance to get through that line. But that is only when we have a lead. We have a slim, that's why I can never lead by more than two scores because if I'm up by one score, they start clutching on me. Every single team. I don't care if it's Desmond Ritter. I don't care who it is. They're coming through in that clutch, regardless of who it is. You know, those X factors, like some players who have high clutch and stuff, that means, I feel like that means nothing in this. Every team's got it. If they're trailing, they're coming through and they're driving and they're either tying that game or taking that lead. And it happens every single time in this franchise mode. Every time. I won one game, but they came through and drove it to end in that game, but we were up by too many. So basically, I'm not saying it's impossible to win. I'm saying I got to find a way to be up by two scores late in the game. Otherwise, I'm losing that game 100% of the time. If we're up by one score and they get the ball back, we've lost. We've already lost. It reminds me of those old NBA Jam games where they would throw up the full court shot with 1 second left and make it every time. I'm not saying they do that in this. They're not throwing up Hail Marys and stuff, but I'm saying when they get the ball last, they score 100% of the time. They 100% of the time. And we can stop them for a field goal if we're up by two. We can start stopping them once they get in the red zone because they know they can win with a field goal, so they'll give you a chance to stop them. But if they have to get a touchdown, they're getting that touchdown. They're getting it. There's no question about it. Anyway, yes, you can go ahead and call this a rant. It's not fun. It's too predictable. I always know exactly what's going to happen. And how can you play a game and enjoy it when you can call everything? I can tell when we're going to make good plays and when we're not. It's all based on the scoreboard. If we're down by 3 touchdowns, I can drive easily and score. If I'm in the lead, I feel like I have no shot at getting in that end zone. So here we are a couple plays later. Again, we can't get to the quarterback at all. We've been getting to him, but they are making really big plays here. They're coming through in the clutch. Now they have the lead again. So if they keep that lead and we get the ball back, or they get the ball back, all of a sudden we're going to be able to tear through that line and get to the quarterback, and maybe we can make them punt, something like that, it becomes a possibility all of a sudden. But as long as we're in the lead, we can't stop nobody. This team stops gets stopped 0% of the time when they're in the lead the whole season, and except for one game. This is our 6th game, and We've only won one. That was the only time we were able to do it. But yeah, this is a rant because I'm sick of this game. I'm not playing franchise anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and put Madden on the shelf. I don't want to play this anymore. This is dumb. Who wants to play a game where you could just make predictions on exactly what's going to happen and be right every single time just based on the game's patterns, the way the game plays. It's just stupid. It's a waste of time playing a game like that. I don't want to know for sure what a team is getting ready to do and when they're going to score and when they're not. But I've been able to do that. I'm successful 100% of the time. It's just ridiculous. Just to further go into more about what I was talking about before, as you can see, the Falcons are up by 6. Okay, now we got our first interception of the season just now. Okay, we're up by 6. They're up by 6, so we're able to make plays now. We made a few good defensive plays, but when we're in the lead, our opponent is unstoppable. And that is our first interception this season. I'm talking about, this is our 6th game of the year. That's our first pick this year. So I'm glad we finally got an interception. I was kind of worried that this whole season would go by and we wouldn't get a pick at all. But we got one now. And like I said, we can stop them when we're trailing. When we're in the lead, they cannot be stopped. And it's just too predictable. And the game is just horrible. The experience is just bad for me. I cannot stand a predictable game. If I could just look at it and predict how things are going to go, not really predict the exact play, but predict the results, I can tell you when the opponent is going to score and when they're not. And I'm right every time because it's based on the scoreboard. If I'm winning, they're going to score. It's a guarantee. If they're losing, we can stop them. It's ridiculous. So as you can see right now, we just made a drive into the end zone. And let me just give you some context on this. We can score touchdowns as long as we're trailing. We were trailing by 6. Now it's tied up. We're getting ready to kick the extra point and take a 1-point lead. So now when they get the ball, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. They may score a touchdown, but they may kick a field goal. How do I know they may kick a field goal instead? Because they're only going to be down by 1 point. So a field goal gives them a chance to still take a lead. So we may actually be able to get stops once they get in field goal range, but we will only be able to get stops once they get in field goal range. That's the thing. That's the only way we'll be able to get stops. And they may get in the end zone too, but they're definitely going to score because they're trailing. They're going to score. It is a promise. It's a promise they're going to score. I mean, I'm guaranteeing it. We will not get a stop. As long as we're in the lead, we can't stop our opponents. One for just about every game we play. They've made it to field goal range, and there's a chance that we've gotten a couple of stops, but only after they got in field goal range. And as you can see, we're not going to stop them completely because we are in the lead. That's why we can't stop them. They're going to either score a touchdown or get a field goal. It's a guarantee. It's a promise. It's a promise. There's no chance of anything else happening. I've been playing this game enough to know when they're going to score. I call the shots in this. I know 100% sure when they're going to score. They have made it impossible for me to get a 2-score lead in this game. I cannot get a 2-score lead because if I'm up by 1, I can't score again. They stop us. We drop our balls. We can't make plays. When they're trailing, they're going to drive and score. It is a promise. It's a guarantee. And I'm going the distance on this video because this is going to be the last one I make again. And they're going to go for 2. They may or may, they'll probably get this. because, well, it's likely they're going to get it. Well, they didn't. Okay, so here's how this game is going to go. If I'm able to get a touchdown, they're going to allow me to score a touchdown as long as there's time left on the clock. And they're going to get the ball back and drive down the field and either score with a touchdown or get a game-winning field goal. And I'm going to show you that. I'm not going to show you the whole video because the video would be way too long if I showed you the whole drive. But we're going to